Hey you guys, it's your girl T, and it's time for another recap of Love and Hip Hop ATL, aka The Young and the Ratchet. I know I'm a few days late, but you guys know I've been busy trying to get better, everything else, and on top of that, still doing my acting thing on the side. But I got a chance to watch the show today, and it was a trip, so let's go ahead and get started. So now what's going on in the opening scene is that you have Mimi. We're picking up right where we left off last week. She's confronting Nico about everything that she heard on Media Takeout. So she's like, Nico, just tell me the truth. Are you married? And Nico's just sitting there cool as a cucumber. I'm like, Nico is too damn cool for school, honey. Because he sat there with a serious expression, was like, yeah, I'm married. So what? I've been married since '07. And Mimi's like, what? Like, what the fuck do you mean, so what? How can you sit here and tell me that you have a wife, you know what I'm saying, after it's come out to all the blogs? Why won't you tell me this from jump? And he's like, what does it matter if I have a wife? We're not together. I'm with you publicly. It's like Nico is such a sleazeball. It's really damn ridiculous. But honestly, I do not feel bad for Mimi because Mimi put herself in this situation. She thought she was all that when she found Nico. K. Michelle tried to tell her. Ariane tried to tell her. Everyone tried to tell her about this dude, but she chose this dude over her friends, and now she has egg all over her face and she's mad. So after that, after he tells her the truth, she's like, you know what, I'm done, I gotta go. And Nico stands up and grabs him. He's like, nah, you need to stay. You need to finish your wine. You know, we supposed to be, you know, having a conversation. And Mimi's looking at him like, are you crazy? And then Nico's like, okay, fine. Go home. You know what I'm saying? Get over it. And I'm going to come get you for dinner. And Mimi's like, no, I don't want to have nothing else to do with you. I know my father just died, but I'm not that damn delusional to deal with a married man. So then she ends up storming out the apartment. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Stevie J, Benzino, Kirk, Tony, and a bunch of other folks, and they're all at the strip club. They're celebrating Benzino's, basically his bachelor party, even though he's only been engaged for like literally a month and his wedding is in 2 weeks. Like, could they move any faster? So they're all sitting there talking, and they're talking about, you know, Kirk's I'm sorry party, and Tony's like, you know, the best way to tell if a relationship's gonna work is when you guys go through hard times. Will she stick there with you? And you know, blah blah blah. Tony, shut the fuck up, because as far as I'm concerned, you and Kalina ain't even married. So Stevie J's just sitting there toasting and chilling, and Benzino's like, you know, he's so excited, he's in love with Titi, and then he asks Stevie J to be his best man. I thought Stevie J was going to drop his damn glass, but he did agree to be the best man. And then Benzino got the nerve to pull up this damn shirt and once again show off this raggy ass tattoo of Titi and basically have the strippers start kissing on his tattoo. I'm like, Benzino is a fool in love, but I wish him and Althea the best. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Tammy Rivera and Waka Flocka. They just dropped off Tammy's daughter, Charlie, at the airport to go spend the summer with her dad. And Waka Flocka is really sad. You can tell that he has a really close relationship with Tammy's daughter. And Waka has always wanted kids. They've been together for 4 years, but for whatever reason, Waka is shooting nothing but blanks. It might be because he smokes a lot of weed. It might be because he drinks a lot. It might be because he's shot. No one really knows why he's not able to get Tammy pregnant. Obviously, Tammy can get pregnant because she has a 7-year-old daughter. So she's talking to Waka about going to go see a fertility specialist. And Waka's like, ain't nothing wrong with me. I put in work every night, boo. And she's like, it's not about that. Like, we need to get your sperm count checked. Like, relax. You know, so like their whole little scene in the car was cute, but you can tell Waka's scared. He doesn't want to hear any bad news. And Tammy's trying to get him to calm down and just go check it out. And he tells Tammy he'll think about it, but that she needs to go first and make sure that there's nothing wrong with her. And Tammy's like, you know, cool, I'll go. It's not a big deal. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Carly Red. She's in the studio, and her song doesn't sound too bad. It sounds, you know, pretty nice. And basically, she invites Kalina and Rashida to come over to the studio because she wants to talk to them about some music business. And so she's talking to them, and she's telling about how she went and got the song. She bought it from the producer. She bought it from the songwriter and whatever else. But that she took Young Jock off of the song, and she decided to put in Young Dro. And Rashida and Kalina are looking at each other and looking at Carly like, girl, that is some dirty ass shit. And in my Nene Leakes voice, you can never win when you play dirty. And so Carly's like, well, I didn't play dirty. It's business. I kept trying to contact him and call him. He wouldn't return my calls. So I had to do what I had to do. I like the song, and I'm not going to let nobody stop my music career. So Kalina and Rashida's like, well, you got to do what you got to do, but make sure that, you know, Young Jock knows about this before you shoot the video and just, you know, send it out to the masses. Let him be aware of the situation. So Carly agrees to call Young Jock and tell him to come down to the video set. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene we have Stevie J, and Stevie J is still sleeping on the couch. He's hungover from Benzino's bachelor party, and Jocelyn comes in like the damn Puerto Rican alarm clock, and she's just going off on Stevie. No, you need to wake up with you know, speaking Spanish, whatever, speaking Spanglish, because I swear every time she talks all I hear is Spanglish. So basically Stevie wakes up and tells Jocelyn that he has to go to LA because he's going to be meeting with the D.O.G.G. And Jocelyn's like, what? Oh my God, you're going to be meeting with Snoop. I love Snoop. I want to meet Snoop. And Stevie J's like, you know what? You need to pump your brakes. This is business. You know what I'm saying? I work with Biggie, so now I want to have a chance to make history and work with Snoop. And it's just going to be me, Snoop, and my best friend, Benzino. So now Jocelyn's like, oh, hell no. You're not going to put Grandpapa before me. You know what I'm saying? How you going to take Grandpa over to LA, but then leave me here in Atlanta? So now Jocelyn has an attitude. She storms off. She walks off saying something in Spanish. And Stevie J rolls over and goes back to laying down on the couch. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, Mimi decides to go to the restaurant, meet with Erica Dixon and Ariane, and basically tell them that they were right about everything concerning Nico, and that basically Nico is married. And so when she tells them, Erica is very surprised, and Ariane has this look on her face like, yeah, I told you so. And then she goes on to bring up Eva and how Nico never really cared about her, almost trying to basically throw more salt in Mimi's wounds. And Mimi starts getting mad. She starts flipping out like a cokehead and cussing her out and telling her to shut the fuck up and that she don't want to hear nothing. And that's the problem with Mimi, is that nobody can tell her anything. She is a fool in love, and as soon as folks try and give her some advice, she takes it personal and she takes it as some type of insult, when Ariane was just really trying to just let Mimi know, like, you know, I knew it from jump. It is what it is. We're still going to be here for you. The whole situation is crazy, and I'm happy that Mimi's finally wising up. But at the end of the day, I still can't feel bad for Mimi, because she still made the decision to put out this porn tape, regardless of the situation, regardless if he taped her or whatever else. She still agreed to it. She kept talking about money. She kept talking about her financial future. She wasn't worried about Eva. So she can't, so to me, she doesn't have too much room to be too mad at Nico when she wasn't too much concerned about her own daughter. So moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, Stevie J and Jocelyn are in LA, and Jocelyn starts talking shit in her confessional. She's like, what, you thought that it was going to be Grandpapa and Stevie J? Hell no. I was coming on this trip one way or another. So they're going to the studio to go meet Snoop for his podcast, and he ends up interviewing both Jocelyn and Stevie J. And, you know, Snoop looks really good. He look, you know, he's aging gracefully. I think he looks a lot better with his dreadlocks than he did with his braids. So Snoop was looking mighty good in that scene. Uncle Snoop. Moving on to the next scene. In the next scene, we have Benzino and Althea, and they're in the kitchen talking. And Benzino's really upset and hurt. He's mad because he feels like Jocelyn is steadily getting in the way between him and Stevie J's business relationship. He feels like, you know what, he's supposed to be out there in LA with Stevie J and Snoop Dogg, but somehow Jocelyn weaseled her way into the trip. And so Althea's like, you know what, if that's not bad enough, she's also cyberbullying me on Instagram. So then Althea pulls out her phone and starts showing Benzino all the messages. Jocelyn threatening to whoop her ass, talking shit about her and Benzino. So Benzino's like, you know what, enough is enough. I'm tired of this. Nobody's gonna beat you up. No one's gonna disrespect my fiance. I think me and Stevie J need to have a real sit down and get to the bottom of the situation with the Puerto Rican princess. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Carly Red, and, you know, mysteriously enough, this time when she calls Young Jock, all of a sudden he shows up at the studio. I'm assuming he showed up to do his part of the song, but Carly Red tells him, not too fast, bro. I not only bought the song from your producer and songwriter, I also put Young Dro on the song. And Young Jock is like, what, are you serious? Okay, fine, Carly, God bless you, I'm done. You know, leave me the hell alone, you're trash. That will be your only son that you'll ever have, and it don't matter because I'ma still get paid. I'ma still see a percentage. And Carly's like, you're not gonna see no percentage. Your name ain't nowhere on there. I bought all the rights to the song. And so they start going back and forth outside, and Young Jock just decides to be the bigger person and walk off and leave Carly Red looking like an asshole on the steps. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next thing we have Mimi, and she decides to meet with Nico's ex-best friend and former roommate, Johnny. So they're at the cafe, and Mimi's like, you know, I really want to know what happened between you and Nico. We ain't seen you, and the damn audience ain't seen you since we shot the music video over a year ago. And Johnny was like, after they shot the music video, Nico just basically just left him in the dust and was like, I gotta find me a new hustle. And Johnny just started spilling the tea. I mean, he was just pouring hot piping tea all over the table. And yes, my ass was sitting there slurping away. I'm not even gonna lie. I had to pull up a chair. I was like, damn, Johnny, and what else happened? Are you sure that you and Nico aren't butt buddies? Because he was sounding like a scorned ex, like him and Nico had been fucking on the side or something. He was spilling a little bit too much tea that I had to give him the side eye. I'm like, damn, you talking a lot, bruh. But anyways, it was funny, and it was just crazy to see Mimi's reaction. She was just so shocked and so hurt. And it's like, dude, everybody from your baby's daddy to your homegirls have been telling you about this dude from day one. You chose not to listen. Everyone has been telling you that he's the one who initially leaked the tape and that the bag was not stolen. And it seems like now that Johnny is saying it, now Mimi wants to be on board and believe that, you know what, Nico is really shiesty and that he set all this up. And like I've always said, I would not be surprised if Don is also involved in this somehow, because Don kind of came out of nowhere and she seems super close to Nico for no reason as well. So hopefully Mimi will wake up, wise up, stop making damn sex tapes, because I also heard that there's a #2 that's out that she's getting paid for as well. So this whole situation is a mess, but I'm going to keep it 100. Don't nobody spill no hot piping tea like Johnny the ex-roommate. Moving on to the next scene. So in the last and final scene, we have Stevie J and Snoop Dogg. And so Stevie J decides that he needs some advice from Uncle Snoop. So Snoop is looking fine as hell. He's like, all right, Stevie, you know what I'm saying? Have a seat. Let's go ahead and chop it up. So they're talking, and Stevie's like, okay, Snoop, well, you know my best friend is Benzino, and he's about to get married to Althea. And Snoop is like, yeah. And I think probably what Snoop is thinking in his head, like, damn, I wonder if I smashed Althea back in the day. But anyways, so Snoop is like, yeah, so what's going on? And Stevie J's like, well, let's just say I'm supposed to be the best man in their wedding. I haven't admitted it to Benzino or the Puerto Rican princess, but I know Althea on that level. And I'm talking about, if y'all see Snoop's expression, I felt the hell out. He looked like, like he just looked like, what? Like, are you fucking serious? Like, you smashed Benzino's soon-to-be wife? When I tell you, that scene had me cracking up, because Snoop was looking like, what the hell? And so Snoop was like, you know what, if that's your boy, you have to be honest with them, and you're going to have to be honest and tell Jocelyn what's up as well. So finally Stevie J is like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and man up. I'm going to start with Jocelyn by letting her know, and I'm going to eventually tell Benzino as well. So Snoop is like, you know what, good luck to you, because that Puerto Rican princess you got, she can turn into a Puerto Rican tornado quick, fast, and in a hurry. So then Stevie J leaves Snoop and he goes to, go meet up with the Puerto Rican princess, aka Jocelyn. So Jocelyn is in the pool, and this scene is so sexy and sultry, and she's coming out the water and her boobies are glistening and there's water dripping. I ain't gonna lie, Jocelyn was looking good as hell in that swimsuit. She has a nice shape. So she came up out the water, and Stevie J's just looking like he's ready to tear her up. And Jocelyn's coming out all sexy with her hair all wet. And then Stevie J's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. There's always tomorrow. I'm about to go smash this right now. So Stevie J and Jocelyn walk off into the sunset. He's about to go get him some, all the while keeping the secret to himself that he smashed Althea. So will Stevie J ever tell Jocelyn that he smashed Althea? Will Stevie J ever tell Benzino that he smashed Althea? Will Mimi beat Nico's ass? Will we ever get to see Ariane's girlfriend? Find out on next week's episode of Dragon Ball Z. Love and Hip Hop ATL, aka the Young and the Ratchet. Alright, deuces.